you will be shocked. Abeokuta is going up.
It's still going. They're still.
But Lagos is
saying underdeveloped and then developing. Abeokuta, no offense, is still underdeveloped compared to Lagos is pretty much
developing and it's rapid.
So over to you, sir.
Okay.
Perception versus reality.
Well, perception is relative. Let me start with that, because for Lagos real estate, there is perception as is and perception as social media says it. Okay? I'll break it down. So perception as is that Lagos real estate is very lucrative. It is high risk, high reward, low risk, low reward. Right? There's relatively no middle ground. That's why it seems as if it's a bit volatile. But because of the fact that real estate value is determined by a host of factors. Okay, proximity to infrastructure, the scale of the infrastructure. For instance, for the island, okay, of course, we'll delve into the mainland island dichotomy.
And middle land.
Inland.
Right. So for the island, for instance, we have, as far as I am concerned, questionable infrastructure. Because the island is not as set up as the mainland. The mainland has the most infrastructure in Lagos, from road networks to hospitals to airports to train stations to, the list goes on and on and on. But you see, the perception of the mainland is that it is not
as put together.
Now, who drove that perception? I would say the government did that in a bid to expand Lagos. But you see, Lagos kept running with that perception.
Right.
And it's like a Nigerian thing. When we just go in a certain direction, we put the car on D without ever putting it on reverse. Right. So that's basically what happened. So we would see from 1998, Lekki Phase 1 started opening up. Right. Under the Fashola administration in Lagos State, you could see that there was a massive push towards expanding the Lekki corridor. Hence, you had the first roundabout, second roundabout, third roundabout.
And those roundabouts don't exist anymore.
He was the same person too who now made them intersections and all of that, because he felt that they were causing some bottlenecks at these various
and traffic,
all of that. So these things were created, for lack of a better word. Let me say they were propagandized in such a way that they needed Lagos to expand and also increase revenue, and it was a good initiative.
Okay, hold on, sir.
You have said quite a number of things.
I think I need to wrap my head around it. The perception and the reality was a little shocking and jolting for us.
I think that it was the government that pushed that perception of the island being the new hub.
So that's very good. We have to take a break. We have to drink water and swallow this pill.
When we come back, it is still Business Connect on 92.7 Super FM.
Super FM 92.7.
See, everybody with him own wahala. Every day comes with its own version of challenges, and you have to be ready to face them, because only then can you move on to the next. That's why I never miss my breakfast. Scratch that. My peak breakfast, with the nutrients and energy I need to face each day, one challenge at a time.
Every day is a good day to power on with the peak breakfast. Have you had your peak? Reach for your peak.
Hi. If you're thinking about financial freedom today, tomorrow, or even retirement, and a future that is financially secure amongst other things, join us every Monday on Super and sponsor Access PR Inventions. It's every Monday from 5:30 to 6 p.m. only on Super 92.7.
Real Estate Matters with the Real Estate Doctor and his co-host, King Ray, on Super FM 92.7 Lagos. Every Wednesday, 11 a.m. to 11:30 a.m. This show brings you an understanding of the business of real estate. Follow us on our socials at real_estate doctor and at ray.realtor. For sponsorship and advertisement, call us on +234 802 735 1727. Powered by Media House Promotions and Odot Communications. Real Estate Matters, only on Super FM 92.7, where real estate matters.
The conversation is as interesting online, on air, and as off air because but we didn't leave out too much. Don't worry.
Yeah,
we have everything in check.
We can also tell you that we're on YouTube right now at Super FM Lagos. Catch us on YouTube at Super FM Lagos.
We're also on Facebook at Super 92.7 FM Lagos. Facebook Super 92.7 FM.
We're talking Business Connect, and we're focusing on Lagos real estate perception versus reality.
And this first perception,
Obinokoli has blown away the rooftop. The breeze was too much. The whole rooftop have opened. It's the rain that's gonna fall and swallow us that's remaining now, because he's talked about the perception of the island versus the mainland versus the realities in the island and the mainland.
Road network infrastructure and everything that he mentioned.
Okay,
it's a lot.
So you've talked about the different should I say the different areas of the island and how they sort of started to bloom from the 1998-ish time. Keep going.
Okay, so that happened, and of course people bought into the idea. Nigerians are always looking for the next best thing, right? So it worked. And we can look at Lekki today and say, yeah, it really worked.
Please, do you stay on the island or the mainland?
I stay on the island. Interesting.
Keep going. So the shade reach you.
All right.
Yeah, well, okay.
Because you know what his excuse would be? Oh, this is what business is.
Not
necessarily. It's business not on the mainland.
Not necessarily true, but in terms of the network of individuals, right? Because if everyone moved down here, that means decision makers also move down here.
Right.
So if you want to interact with them, you have to be around
here.
Them. It's very simple.
That is absolutely true.
Right. So, but in terms of looking at it from a business standpoint, these were the factors that we looked at that now shaped how we chose to do business in the real estate sector. So, for our company, for instance, what we did was we looked at it objectively and said, okay, should we follow the bandwagon and move to Lekki in terms of business, or should we now look at these areas that we can actually convince you easily by telling you that, listen, there are drainages everywhere on the mainland, right?
Yeah.
On the Lekki Expressway, there are no drainages. We have ditches, but they are not gutters. Right.
We have ditches but they are not gutters.
On the Lekki Expressway, like from the start to the end.
Don't worry. You can actually. So what you will find is at every intersection, there is something called a perception of a drainage system. It looks like it, right? But if you look behind it, it's going into a ditch. Hence why the Lekki Expressway is always flooded. However, it's easier to sell luxury in an Ikeja GRA. In a Surulere, because these were considered old money areas. Right, so what we decided to
and
do
Ikoyi
was...
on the island.
Well,
it's okay.
Ikoyi, yeah, and Omole phase 1 and 2. So what we did was we decided that, okay, you know what? Why don't we rebuild the old waste places and make the crooked paths straight? So when we decided to go in that direction, we found out that we had a lot of island people who were already jaded with the island idea. And we're willing to invest on the mainland. Right. So it's a very interesting conversation what's playing out in Lagos. And I think that if people would just pause to do due diligence, to even ask a lot of questions, they would channel their monies in the right direction as against going with the bandwagon.
But the mainland has become super, super duper expensive too.
In recent times.
So why? What's happening? What should we know? Should we get out? Should we go to the village?
Reality is now catching up with perception.
Explain.
So remember, we said that the perception of the island is that it's where the scattered people in Lagos are. People who don't have any future, any direction, any magnitude.
On the mainland.
Yeah. Basically, that's the idea. That's what you find in, for lack of a better word, beer parlor conversations, right?
Right.
But you see, what is now happening is that there are developers like ourselves that are now looking at the mainland and saying, okay, you know what, let's do this. And they're setting up phenomenal properties, okay, in these hot zones on the mainland. And it's bringing back its old value. And let's not also forget one thing. most properties on the mainland, have the right title documents. So you're having a lot of properties with C of O. Vis-a-vis what you find on the island, where the most you probably get is a governor's consent. Right. So
just for perspective purposes, can you explain the difference between the two and the importance of one over the
so
other?
let me just break it down in layman terms, right? If you have a certificate of occupancy or a certificate of ownership, right, it simply means that the government acknowledges that you own this property
For the next 100 years, I hear.
Yes,
Yeah.
thereabout.
Okay. After that,
There's even a higher one, but it's quite rare for you to even have that. But if you now say governor's consent, let's just say, for lack of a better word, you know how they say now from clap, who they take
Enter dance.
You are just warming your hands to clap
Eh?
before you now get to the dance. So the governor is consenting to the fact that
You can stay here for now.
yes, you are here. We know that you are here. You've paid your statutory duties and levies, but you need this to now proceed to get a certificate of ownership or occupancy and all. So it's a good title document, but most people they will feel safer
Having the
Having-
C of O.
invested in the property that has a C of O. Right. So that's one of these are the advantages that people don't really look at. On the island, there are areas that you can get C of O, right? For instance, your Ikoyi being an
Why is it my Ikoyi?
You're
Ikoyi.
in
because you have
Lagosian now.
you
That's why.
said Ikoyi quite
Yeah.
a number of times.
Right, Ikoyi, Victoria Island, then maybe Lekki Phase 1, right? But beyond that, you're going to have a lot of, what's it called? Governor's consent. Not that you wouldn't find pockets of C of O's, right? But I'm just saying that you have more of
Majority.
that on the mainland, being that in the early days, right, in the 70s, 80s, it was easier for you to obtain such documents as against today. Right? So that's why when you look at it from that perspective, you understand that, okay, you know what, there's so much value here, but people aren't seeing it, right? As against the island where there's a perception of value.
So are you saying there's no
The perception of value on the
There's-
mainland.
No, wait.
Think about
He
it.
says there's not much of a perception of value on the mainland.
But
as
in
opposed to island.
reality, though,
In that there's no actual reality of value on the island.
Well, okay, so let's look at it from this perspective. Lekki has just one vein of entry.
No,
Think
two.
One.
too.
Lekki Koyi
Link.
and Lekki Tollgate.
Lekki has just one. If you come out from Admiralty, where do you connect to? Lekki Ekpa Expressway.
Yes.
Now, let's go from, what's it called? Let's go from Fadeyi
Okay.
to Maryland.
Stop it now. Stop it now. Can use the back road.
There's
a
a back
say-
road.
There's
Yeah.
a back road, there's a straight
Yeah.
road, right? Let's do Ikeja. With the new underpass.
Abiola Way.
That
Still developing. Why
Why
is it
is there-
pulling the value of developed? And the one that is developed is pulling the value of underdeveloped or still developing.
Do you think that infrastructure is playing a huge role in all of this?
Not necessarily. What is not necessarily, and I'll tell you why I said so. Because if you look at the value proposition of the dichotomy of the island mainland,
Right.
what you can see for a fact is that we have a lot of, for lack of a better word, salesmanship going on.
How so?
We have fantastic salesmen. Don't worry. And think
I
about
know
it.
ice to Eskimos,
It's
but
like,
brimstone to the devil.
Because if you look at it, when you're driving on the streets of Lagos and someone is trying to sell something to you that you don't want, they sell in various ways and forms that you end up buying, and you're not asking, so why did I even buy this thing in the first place, right? But that's how we've also graduated into the real estate sector. The skill set for the average Nigerian is amazing when it comes to sales, especially when there is no food on the table and he knows that if I don't sell, I'm not going to eat, right? You would see the average Nigerian paint Lekki in such a way that Saudi Arabia were like, wow, I think we need to invest here.
But wait.
So I have a question though, because I know that from time immemorial, everybody would work on the island and live on the mainland.
Yeah.
And the perception, and that was the perception that everyone had, oh, the island was where you could work and the mainland was where you could live
Live.
because of affordability. Does that
Yeah.
still exist?
Well, let's now take into consideration the next thing. So since we've left beer parlor conversation, let's now talk business properly. So there's something called inflation, and it is real.
Okay.
The cost of building on the mainland is the same cost building on the island.
Is it the property?
Sir,
Is it
no,
landed?
explain,
wait.
explain, sir. Because, sir, let me just adjunct to this.
Okay.
Let me just put an adjunct. The adjunct is that the spaces on the island are
Small and they cost more.
like incredibly smaller. So, sorry, say that again, sir.
So the cost of building on the mainland is the same cost of building on the island.
How?
Block on the mainland is not cheaper than block on the island, because cement on the mainland is the
It's
same price as
with
cement on the
the
island.
Is it
Is
the
it though?
spaces? Is it the
No,
landed
wait,
property?
sorry.
The lands that actually
Now-
have
now-
cost.
now-
I'm sorry, sir. I went all the way to the market to think about tomatoes and pepper. If they are not the same on the island and on the mainland, cement cannot be the same thing on the island and the mainland.
No,
sir.
because the truth is, cement has a national price.
Hell.
More expensive outside of Lagos because of transportation.
Yeah.
Right, but there's a general price to cement, and rods fortunately are still being imported into the country, so the dollar fluctuations will always affect that. And mainland are not getting a cheaper structural rod, right?
On nails.
Or
nails.
or cement,
Or
or
Maybe a
sand,
little
or
discount because of the proximity.
It depends. If you want buy bulk, you go that place.
right. So if you look at it from that perspective, even if you buy land for 100 million naira on the mainland, and your cost of building is 2.4 billion, do you understand that you're not going to get anything less than 150 to 200 million per unit?
Sorry, do that math again.
No,
I
that
don't-
math is
sorry.
If it went over.
It's like
It went over.
Yeah,
All right,
do it
so
again.
I'll give you an instance. We have a project that's coming up on the mainland, right? The cost of the land is 400 million. The BOQ is
What's
approximately
BOQ?
the bill of quantities. What it will cost for you
For you to build.
that property is close to 3 billion,
Okay.
right? The going rate for a 3-bedroom flat is about 250 million. So when you do the math and you break it into each unit, you are seeing about 180 to about 170 to 180 million to finish
One.
one unit.
And going rate is 200 to 250.
So there's now 25% profit margin. So when you look at that, you now see that it's not because people really want to charge an arm and a leg, but inflation is playing a vital role in ensuring that they charge you an arm and a leg.
But if now all of us are affect, the ridiculousness of the prices on
the island
still bewilders me.
So the interesting thing again now goes back to the first thing we said. When you put bill of quantities versus and alongside perception, you will get what you find on the island. Now let's now break the island into two parts. There is the first island. Let me say it that way for ease. First island, which is Ikoyi, Victoria Island. Okay, they still hold their value for two reasons: political reasons and what's it called? And business reasons. So some of the main decision makers, the businesses, have their HQs in
Here.
Victoria Island. That will keep the real estate value on the up and up.
That is true.
Okay,
They're
because
barely houses on the, in
on
VI.
VI,
They're mostly
workstations.
businesses.
So
That's
that will
true.
keep the value on the up and up. Then of course companies are constantly building high-rise buildings. Vessels are putting up office structures here and there, and these things keep driving up the value. There's also like what I mentioned before, title documents are impeccable. Right. So when you look at that, you can now understand why. For Ikoyi, for instance, I mean, when Lagos was the Federal Capital Territory, that's where everything happened. That's where all the top
that's
guys
where
lived.
everything. Yes.
So these guys still hold these properties, or their families still hold these properties, and the value keeps going up. And there's also the perception of that Ikoyi arrangement, because if you want to live where the superpowers of Nigeria live, you have to pay
Ikoyi.
top dollar for that.
Sir, time is not our friend.
You will
and
come
we
back
don't
on.
like this, but you are going to come back and tell us the way forward, because we've heard a lot of doom and gloom, and we've also understood there's some things that actually do make a lot of sense
now.
But the way forward is the big question. So we'll leave us with one thought in 30 seconds. Make that 15. You
All
can do
right.
it.
So if you want to invest in real estate, due diligence is your best friend. Your lawyer should be your second best friend, right? And whatever it is they tell you, take it seriously.
Due diligence, your lawyer. take seriously,
Take seriously.
everything you get told.
Somebody has a
Fantastic.
question that we're going to save. He said, but there are still so many unoccupied estates. Makawai. Imam from Lagos, you have to be more
Specific.
Yeah, specific.
Yeah,
In what
so
area?
in what area,
Island,
the mainland or
mainland,
the
or
island?
middle land?
All right, we've got
talking
to go. But we have been speaking with Mr. Obinna Cyril Okoli, who is the founder and chief executive officer, Dunamis Gloria Dominio Nigerian Limited, in Nigeria, a real estate development, oil and gas services, and maritime logistics company right here in Lagos.
It's been such a pleasure talking to you. You are coming back. First of all, you're here for
Dear
Dear Men
Men.
because we'll see the other side of
Oh, you.
And then next week, you're back to tell us about the way forward.
That's
Don't go other side of this.
One day now, one day. Walk no go rest deep. Say you still fit go on holiday. Make you know they complain. Retire in grand style. Make it worth your while. Choose a partner that won't stress you out. Let's shape your future. Access ARM is working for you. Access ARM is investing for you. To live a life.
Let's help you shape the future you deserve. Access ARM Pensions. Future shaping. Real Estate Matters. This show brings you an understanding of the business of real estate. Follow us on our socials at real_estate doctor and at ray.realtor for sponsorship and advertisement. Call us on +234 802 735 1727. Powered by Media House Promotions and Odot Communications. Real Estate Matters, only on Super FM 92.7, where real estate matters. Have you been looking for avenues to reach a global audience? Would you like your business to reach your target audience and people from all walks of life? Call our commercial lines on 0816 4193 or walk into our office at 31 Bishop Oluwole Street, Victoria Island, Lagos. Put your business on blast on Super 92.7 FM, your one family, one radio.
You're listening to the Super Breakfast Show that gets your day started right here on Super 92.7 FM.
One family, one radio. 92.7 Super FM.
To listen to us anywhere, download Super FM Global app on the Google App Store or the iOS app right now. Stay connected to Super FM.
92.7 Super FM.
It's time to break the silence. In a world that often asks you to be tough, to hide your emotions, and live up to impossible standards, where do you find the space to just be? Introducing Dear Men, a groundbreaking radio show that's all about empowering you. Whether it's redefining masculinity, strengthening emotional resilience, or building healthier relationships, Dear Men is here to help you live a fuller, more authentic life.